Namaste everyone. I'm Shobha, a spiritual seeker. At the outset, I would like to wish you all a very happy Yugadi. On this auspicious occasion of Yugadi, I would like to share a few basic concepts in spiritual sciences, which I intend continuing over a period of time through various videos. So here we go for today's session. So it is the basics of Vedanta we are going to see today. Now, what are Vedas? Vedas are the scriptures of the Hindus. The term Veda comes from a Sanskrit word that signifies knowledge. They focus on hymns, knowledge of rituals, details of religious rituals, spells against enemies and diseases. Vedas are composed over a time period ranging from 1500 to 800 BCE. Then each Veda has 4 subdivisions, namely Samhitas, which are the mantras, Aranyakas, which are the texts on rituals, sacrifices, and ceremonies. Brahmanas gives explanation of sacred knowledge. It also expounds scientific knowledge of Vedic period. And Upanishads, which are texts discussing about self, meditation, philosophy, and spiritual knowledge. As most of you may be aware of, there are 4 types of Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. Now, Rig Veda is the earliest of the 4 Vedas and one of the most important texts of the Hindu tradition. It's a large collection of hymns in praise of the gods, which are chanted in various rituals. Yajurveda contains instructions for yagna rituals. Samaveda is the Veda of melodies and chants, whereas Atharva Veda consists of directions and mantras in connection to ward off evil, hardships, and diseases apart from spiritual thoughts. Vedas, which are the eternal truths, were passed down orally for thousands of years, till Veda Vyasa is believed to have compiled them in written form. It is said the philosophy of the Vedas was further developed and explained by Vyasa in the Puranas and Mahabharata. Now, coming to Vedanta, the term Vedanta means in Sanskrit the conclusion or the anta of the Vedas. The Upanishads are commonly referred to as Vedanta. Upanishads are texts on spiritual knowledge and liberation. Coming to the basic concepts. Now, the first, let's see what are Panchamahabhuta, the 5 great elements. Now, our body is made up of 72% of water, 12% earth, 6% air, 4% fire, and remaining 6% akasha or the space. So these elements, that is the earth, water, fire, air, and space, they form the Panchamahabhutas. Earth or the Prithvi is the grossest, and Akasha or the space is the subtlest. So from the grossest to the subtlest, the order is earth, water, fire, air, and space. And the group of 5 basic elements, this is the basis of all cosmic creations. The fundamental sadhana in yoga is to gain mastery over these 5 elements or to purify the elements in the system, and it is known as Bhuta Shuddhi. Now let's see what are Panchendriyas. Panchendriyas are the sense organs of the human body consisting of mind and action, each consisting of 5 subtypes. The 5 Karmendriyas, that is, the sense organs that deal with bodily functions, and 5 Buddhi Indriyas or Gnanendriyas are the sense organs of perception. Now, the 5 Gnanendriyas are meant to perceive the world, and 5 Karmendriyas are meant to respond to the world, and they are backed by the mind. Now, coming once again to which are the 5 Karmendriyas. As we saw, Karmendriyas are the organs of action. The 5 organs that perform actions in our body are, in Sanskrit, they are called as Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, and Upastha. Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha. Vak or the mouth or the organ of speech for speaking. Pani are the hands. That is, we have 2 hands for grasping and holding. Pada are the feet. So we have 2 feet for walking. Payu or the anus is the organ for excretion. Upastha, which are the genitals for procreation. This is the organ for reproduction. So these 5 organs, they are known as Karmendriyas. Then we have what are known as Gnanendriyas. These are the organs of perception. They are eyes, nose, tongue, ears, and skin. We perceive the external world through these sense organs. So through eyes, we see, through ears, we hear, through nose, we smell, through the tongue, we taste, and through the skin, we touch. We also have what are known as Tanmatras. Tanmatras are rudimentary, undifferentiated, subtle elements from which gross elements are produced. The 5 Tanmatras are Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. That is, Shabda is the sound, and this is associated with Akash or the space. Sparsha is the touch, and it is associated with Vayu or the air element. Rupa is the vision, which is associated with fire element. Rasa is the taste, which is associated with water or Jalatattva. Gandha is the smell, which is associated with earth or Prithvi. The Tanmatras combine and recombine in different ways to produce the gross elements: ether or the space, air, fire, water, and the earth, which make up the gross universe, which are perceived by our senses. Now we have something known as Antakarana. The 4 inner instruments. Now we just learnt about the external sense organs. We also have inner instruments which are inside. That is, the 4 inner instruments of the mind is known as Antakarana. They are Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, we say. That is Manas, the mind; Buddhi, the intellect; Chitta, memory or the awareness; and Ahankara, the ego. Manas or the mind is a seat of emotions like anger, jealousy, love, compassion, etc. Mind integrates various perceptions from the sense organs or Gnanendriyas and passes them on to the intellect or the Buddhi for judgment, and it relays instructions to the organs of actions or Karmendriyas. Intellect concerns the logical and rational functions of the human mind. The intellect gathers knowledge, remembers, analyzes, inquires into problems, and discriminates between what is right and wrong, real and unreal, and so on. Chitta, or the memory, is one of the most important antakarana part. The function of memory is to receive and record our experiences. The data received from all 5 organs of knowledge are stored in the memory, stored in the chitta as impressions, and it can be recollected. It comes to surface rather, as and when necessary. And the last one is ahankara, or ego. Here the ego doesn't mean pride. It's a sense of individuality, identity, and the notion of doership. So for this video, I think I just limited it to some few concepts, but this has to be continued, and it will be continued in the next video. Please give your feedback on what you heard and went through so far. It was my mail to my mail ID. You may send your feedback. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a nice day.